Welcome all here to the Helios Centre, where we're going to share in a guided meditation process. And the whole part of this process has been taught here at Helios when I was working at the training school for healers. My name's Miqhael Kannemeyer, sometimes known as Mickey Mix. And many years ago I helped with the Helios Centre and became a student of healing here, and then eventually a trainer and a helper and a guide for some people in the practice of meditation and in other spiritual esoteric practices. And now I also practice Qigong, and I often also do acupressure sessions for people through the style of Jin Shin Do. So this meditation today that we're being guided in is one that's developed from a number of different sources. One of the sources was the Helios Centre here, where I was trained and helped by my teachers and guides. That's Maisie Besant and Greg Branson, amongst others. And it develops from a Western tradition based in spiritualism and general occult teachings, esoteric teachings that come from the Western tradition. But also it incorporates a lot of traditional practices from the Indian subcontinent and indeed from China, Japan and the Far East. And also I was trained, I must acknowledge, by the National Federation of Spiritual Healers, some of whose teachings are incorporated in this guided meditation. This style of meditation was specifically developed for people who are working or aspiring to be healers. And spiritual healing is an ancient practice. It has many different forms. The one that's most often known these days is Reiki. And spiritual healing can develop in other ways as well. You can use meditation for self-healing, and this is what this particular style of meditation is for. It's to bring you into a state of attunement to practice your own self-healing, and if you develop yourself in this style, it'll also be for an ability to heal others or to access healing power to help others to heal. All healing can be done collaboratively with yourself, with higher powers, with other people. And this particular style of healing, I would suggest, if you use the full process, is best done in collaboration with other people who are on a similar healing path. It is actually quite challenging to work completely on your own when you're developing your healing abilities, because you do need the feedback from people who are your fellow students or teachers or guides or people who are similarly on the path with you. And one of the aspects of developing in healing is that we can sometimes get challenged by our own ego, by our own thoughts that are willful or difficult. And we need that check of a healing community around us to actually give us some feedback and support us on our journey. So I would always recommend to people that try and connect with this energy, to work with people that they feel are like-minded, and to try and find that healing community around you in whatever way, even if it's only just one or two people, to find that healing community to support you on your journey. And that will be most beneficial rather than working on your own. However, if you are on your own and quite isolated and don't have access to other people who are similarly like-minded, then you can certainly practice safely the breath work, which we will do in the first part of the meditation, and some grounding, which we will do in the very last part of the meditation. For people who are more supported, they can go deeper and then access a deeper attunement and an opening of different energy centres, which will enable a more focused approach. But everyone can safely practice breath work, and everyone can safely practice grounding. So, normally speaking, when we're working together in these settings, we work in a circle, so that the power of the circle empowers us all together to contribute to the healing process. If you're only just with one or two other people, then try and imagine that there's a circle with you, and you can put out some empty chairs and invite the blessings from people who are also attuned to this style of work to be present in spirit. And I think it's good to recognize that this kind of process is a spiritual process that works with non-physical energies, and those non-physical energies can be accessed by anybody with goodwill who are open to doing that. So we always start with feeling what our intention is. Our intention is normally shared around the circle. Today we've done this before, we've actually done this recording, so we've done some intention setting already. So if you're just coming to this by listening to my voice now, just feel what your intention may be. And of course your intention is partly to open up yourself to a healing process, to self-healing. And what I always advise people is that this opening up to healing process isn't a simple, straightforward, one-time process. It needs to be done as a practice with some degree of regularity. And as you keep on your healing journey and your journey of meditation, you will also find that various challenges start to arrive along that journey. To begin with, you may find that the practice is very easy, very simple, as it was for me when I first started, I must confess. I found I took to it very easily to begin with. But then as you continue your practice, you may find that more challenges arrive, and what you used to find quite simple, you now start finding challenging. And this is very, very common, that as you start going along, you suddenly realize that maybe, it's not convenient for me to do this now, or I'm finding this difficult in a way that I didn't do before. And then you might wish to drop out. You might say to yourself, this isn't working for me anymore, this isn't right for me anymore. This is part of the challenge of the process. So as you go along and you find this arising, when you do this regularly, you might find that these challenges arise. Don't think this is just you personally. This is general to most people along the way, that they will be challenged in some way or other, and they will start finding these challenges make it difficult for them to continue. So this happens to you, try and persist. Even if you do stop practicing for a little while, when you do feel a little bit more ready, try and persist again. And don't feel bad about it. Feel, okay, this happened to me, I will keep on now, and I will keep persevering through these challenges. And the same is true during the process of any meditation. During the course of a particular meditation, you may find, I'm becoming sleepy, or I'm becoming fidgety, or I have itches, or I have all sorts of things that make me stop the process. This again is quite common, and so all you have to do is just keep persevering, not blame yourself, not get cross with yourself, but just keep persevering, returning to the breath work that you started with, and focusing on that. So that's my simple guide to begin with, and hopefully you'll find that that suffices for you. If you don't find that that is enough as a way of a guide, then please do contact some people that you can in person, whoever is near to you in your locality, and see if you can get more help from other spiritual communities, and hopefully your journey, your healing journey, will continue in a smooth and supported way. Thank you. So to begin with, this particular style of meditation is done sitting on chairs, and it was developed in this way so that people with limited physical ability, people who are elderly or people who are infirm in some way, could just sit on ordinary chairs and still practice meditation without necessarily having to sit cross-legged on cushions. In fact, sitting on chairs is still an ancient style of physical meditation practice, and it's not to be sneezed at, it's not to be dismissed as too primitive, because it is as effective as any other. But you do have to pay attention to some very specific details. First of all, get a hard-based chair so that you don't sink into deep cushions like you might with an armchair. And secondly, get a style of chair where the seat of the chair enables your knees to form a right angle so that your feet can touch the ground naturally, so that the seat isn't either too high from the ground or too low. And this means that if your length of shin from your knee to your sole of your foot is very short, you may need to put some blocks or cushions under your feet to accommodate that right angle of the knee, or indeed if your length of shin from your knee to the sole of your foot is very long, you may need to put cushions under your bottom so that it enables again this right angle at the knee. Similarly, you want a right angle as far as possible at the base of your spine and between the base of your spine and your seat, your sitting bones, as far as possible, and that may mean putting some cushions behind your back and having a firm back to the chair. In due course, you may find that you're enabled by practice to support to have your spine erect without being supported, but this is quite advanced and you may not find that's easy for you straight away. So give yourself some back support if you need it. So that's your sitting position, feet flat on the floor, and look at your feet first of all to ensure that your feet are about shoulder width apart, and that way you keep that distance between the feet riding up through the rest of your body. So your knees are about shoulder width apart, your hips are about shoulder width apart, and your shoulders match all of that. And this enables two lines of energy rising up from the feet through the ankles, the knees, the hips and the shoulders to be roughly parallel. And those lines of energy going downwards then enable gravity to go down through the shoulders, the hips, the knees and the feet. And gravity then aids the process naturally. As for your hands and arms, to begin with, start with your hands and arms being supported by your thighs, so your hands, your palms are flat, palms down on your thighs, just behind the knee. And during the course of the meditation, if you want to change the orientation of your hands and palms, that will happen naturally. But start off with your palms facing downwards, and this helps with your grounding, just as having a sense of the feet flat on the floor helps with your grounding. Now, just with sitting in this position and focusing on your physical position, you have started the process of meditation. It's important to try and replicate this process exactly every time that you start. And this is because it encourages your body to have a body memory that you are going into a process of meditation. This will enable your practice to be rooted in your body memory and will enable your mind and your spirit to follow the position of the body and know that the position of the body indicates a process of meditation is starting. If you're used to practicing meditation in a different position, that's absolutely fine. If you're already rooted in a physical practice where you sit cross-legged or some other way and you're used to practicing meditation in that style, then that's fine for you to actually continue rather than be disrupted. But if you're working together in a circle with like-minded people who are practicing this, then all do start off in the same way because it encourages unity of the circle. So now we're just sitting. Just sitting and just breathing. And this is a very simple form, just sitting and just breathing. And I feel it's always important to start meditation with the very simplest of processes, just sitting and just breathing. And as you are just breathing, you can check into your body. You can check that your body is feeling grounded, as we did at the start of the process. You can allow the energy of your physical form to go with gravity and let all your weight go down into the ground, through your sitting bones, through the chair, and through your thighs down into your feet. But you can also allow a very slight stretch in your spine to arise from a sensation that something at the top of your head, at the very crown of your head, is gently pulling at the crown of your head to let the top of your head want to rise upwards. This is a very gentle sensation, and this just helps to keep the spine reasonably straight rather than collapsing. There's a very slight stretch in the upper part of the spine going upwards. But the rest of your body is feeling a sensation of the gravity going downwards. From the shoulders down. And also to help your physical position, you can just be aware that it's good to lower your chin and your nose very, very slightly. Not so that your chin collapses on your chest, but this little tilt with the nose and the chin going downwards enables the neck vertebrae to open up so that you're not compacting them too much. And this also enables this slight stretch from the base of the skull upwards. So we're still just sitting, just breathing, being aware of our physicality, being aware of gravity, being aware of how the breath changes the body very, very slightly, being aware how each breath is slightly different from the one before. And we bring our focus more and more onto what the breath is doing. So let your mind focus on how you're breathing in, how the breath comes into the body through the nose or through the mouth. It's advisable generally to try and get the breath in through the nose, but if you can't manage this, don't be fretting about it. And then feeling the passage of the breath down the back of the throat. Feeling the in-breath expand the chest. And how the in-breath changes other things in the body. And then allowing that in-breath to turn into an out-breath when the time comes. Being aware of how the out-breath flows out of the body and out through the nose or the mouth. And how the out-breath falls away from the body. without trying to control the process over much to begin with. Just be aware of how this process is going. You're breathing every day, every minute of your life usually. Something you take for granted. Now we're just focusing on something you do all the time, not trying to do anything special with it to begin with. Just being aware of how it happens while we're sitting in this position. So this just sitting and just breathing is something you can do anytime, anywhere. It's usually done for many people with the eyes closed, but if you wish, you can have your eyes very slightly open, and that's also okay, if you like that. But if you do have your eyes open, try and keep your eyes cast down towards the ground, rather than looking around. And try and defocus your eyes so that they're not particularly focused on looking at anything in particular. You can maybe relax your eyes if you do have your eyes open so that they seem to be gazing deep into the distance. And you can even do that with your eyes shut. You can feel that your eyes are focusing on something really distant, and that relaxes the muscles in the eyes. Still just sitting, just breathing. Not trying to achieve anything. Not with any particular goal in mind. Just sitting, just breathing, just being. And this is a very good meditation practice, and you can do this for a few minutes at a time through the day, or you can do this for 10 or 15 minutes if you want to do it a bit longer. But generally speaking, most people find that this is too simple for them, that the mind starts to wander a little bit because it's so very simple and the mind gets bored. So the rest of the meditation, we give the mind a job to do, and the mind likes to have a job to do. So the job, first of all, of the mind is to follow the breath. The mind needs to keep focusing on the breath. So ask your mind to ride with the breath, as if it's surfing on the breath. Your awareness is traveling with your breath into the body and out again. Your mind is traveling at the pace of your breath. And so if we slow down our breathing, we will start to slow down the travelling pace of our minds. So gently, without forcing it, allow each breath to go a little bit longer as you breathe in. Just a little bit more pause before you breathe out. And a little bit longer as you breathe out. And a little bit longer pause before you breathe in again. Just tiny bits of incremental change, so that each breath goes a little bit longer, a little bit deeper. awareness is tracking that journey of travel with the breath. Your awareness is tracking that each breath is going a little bit longer, a little bit deeper. And if you like, you can let your awareness go into the fact that the breath from the air is interchanging in the lungs with the blood vessels in the lungs. The oxygen from the air is going into your bloodstream. You can have a general awareness of how the breath is bringing fresh energy into the body with the in-breath, and how the breath is allowing stale energy, stale air to leave the body. Still just sitting, just breathing. If you want to, then you can allow the breath to go deeper with each breath. So do you feel like you're breathing down below your navel into your lower abdomen? And you'll notice how with deep breaths the lower abdomen moves. And you can take the energy of the breath right down to the base of your spine. So feel as if you're breathing right down to the base of your spine. Taking the in-breath right down to the base of the spine. And then breathing out from the base of the spine, allowing the energy from the base of the spine to rise up through the length of the spine and out with the out breath. Breathing into the base of the spine and out from the base of the spine. And if you feel really comfortable with that, you can feel that you're taking the energy from the in-breath right down below the base of the spine to a point way down below the base of the spine. So there's a line of energy that you breathe down from the base of the spine into the earth. You breathe in down that line of energy into the earth, and you breathe out from that line of energy. Breathe out from the earth. Feel as if you're breathing deep into the earth, through the base of the spine and into the earth, and breathing out from the earth, up that line of energy, through the base of the spine, then up and out with the out breath. In and down to the earth. And as you synchronize your breath energy with the energy of the earth, feel a part of the nurturing of the earth, the natural processes of the earth, the nourishment of the earth, the gentle flow of the earth, our oneness with the harmony of the earth. Our flesh and blood and bone has been made from the earth, and we are with the energy of the earth. This gentle, persistent, long, lasting energy of the earth. Bringing stability, nourishment, and calm. Just sitting, just breathing, just allowing the mind to travel with the breath, the awareness of the flow of energy into the body and out again, through the body and out again. Just sitting, just breathing, staying very simple with the focus. And keep doing this for as long as you feel comfortable, and when you start to feel you've had enough, then just gently bring yourself to a close if you wish. And we'll start to ground ourselves if you want to close. Or if you feel that you have the energy to go deeper, you can also use this energy to go deeper the next time. Simple breath meditation. Thank you. So continuing with the energy of the breath, if you wish to go deeper, continuing the process of just simply breathing, simply sitting, simply being aware of the flow of energy and the flow of the breath. Still being aware that we're taking the energy of the breath down through the base of the spine into the earth below. Just establish that connection with the earth through the breath, through the base of the spine down to the earth. And the more you establish this connection, you also feel the flow of energy going with the gravity that's establishing the connection all the time between our bodies and the earth. And that simple force of gravity going down through our seats, through the chairs, going down through our legs, our feet, into the earth. That simple force of gravity is flowing with the breath as the breath goes down into the earth. And feel as if you're breathing down this line of energy. As you breathe in this line of energy down to the base of the spine, down into the earth. And let that line of energy go deeper and deeper into the earth with each in-breath. And you're breathing out from deeper and deeper into the earth with each out-breath. So first of all, we're breathing into the earth through the layers of geology, the soil, the rocks, through the layers of molten lava beneath the rocks, taking that in-breath deeper beyond the mantle of the earth. And then with the next breaths, taking the sense of breathing in, going down beyond the mantle of the earth towards the inner core of the earth. With each subsequent breath going a little bit deeper with the awareness, taking the energy of the breath as far down deep into the earth as we can imagine. And finally feeling, as we breathe in through this central line of energy down the core of our being. That line of energy goes down through the base of the spine and goes right down to the core, to the heart of the earth. Feel that line of energy, that line of breath going right down to the heart of the earth, the center of the earth. And that line also is the line of energy through which you breathe out. You breathe out from the heart of the earth, feel it rising up, that line of energy, the heart of the earth energy rising up, and then that energy being breathed out with the out breath. It begins to be as if we're breathing with and for the earth. And all the creatures of the earth breathing with us. The plants, the animals, the rocks, the weather. All the creatures, all the beings, all the energy of the earth is breathing with us. We're breathing in harmony with the energy of the earth. With the next breath, we take down to the energy of the earth right at the center. We can feel a glow, a spark of red glowing at the heart of the earth. And with the out-breath, let that red spark form a red line of energy coming up to the base of our spine. As we breathe out, a red line of energy rises up from the heart of the earth to the base of the spine. Glowing, beautiful red, rich and vibrant. That line of energy rising up from the heart of the earth to the base of the spine. Base of our spine connected to the heart of the earth, with a thin red line of vibrant, rich red energy. A beam of energy. With the next breath in, feel that sense of the red line, the red space at the base of the spine is growing into a little ball of energy. So next breath in, breathe into that little ball of energy that's developing at the base of the spine. And that little ball of energy grows brighter and stronger and bigger with each breath in. Fresh oxygen, fresh energy coming to that ball of energy at the base of the spine. And with each breath, that ball of energy goes brighter, redder, richer, more vibrant, and larger. And this ball of energy is connecting us, anchoring us to those persistent, nurturing energies of the earth. It's echoing the ball of energy at the heart of the earth. Anchoring us, nourishing us, steadying us. And when we're fully steady at the base of our spine and fully comfortable with our relationship to the earth, with the next breath we can allow that ball of energy to send a beam of energy upwards, just a few inches upwards. So next breath in, breathe to that ball of energy, and with the next breath out, allow a line of energy to grow upwards towards the lower belly, in the center of the body. And when that line of energy reaches the lower abdomen, it starts to glow a bright, vivid orange. So breathe into this center now, in the lower abdomen, just a few inches below the navel. In the center of the body, and with each breath, that line of energy forms a ball of energy, orange, bright, vivid, vivacious, lively, full of vibrant energy, delicious orange, bright, fizzing with energy. And it's energizing all this area around the lower abdomen below the navel. And as this brings vitality to this area, as we breathe into this area and connect it with the energy of the earth and the energy of the breath, this area helps to support and develop and strengthen all our physical capabilities. All of the physical capabilities of our being to look after ourselves, to nourish ourselves, to eat properly, to guide our appetites so that we're not greedy Also not neglecting ourselves, to guide our appetite so that we know which foods are good for us, to balance our sense of want. Our sense of want, our sense of desire for food, for affection, for all the physical comforts that the world has to offer. We bring those into balance with each breath, so we're neither too demanding nor too abstemious. We're in balance and able to look after ourselves in the best way as appropriate at each time. Feel that bright orange, vibrant ball of energy moving around our lower centers, bringing balance, bringing harmony, bringing the ability to look after all our physical needs, our physical demands, our physical desires, all in balance. We don't crave too much, and we don't deny ourselves too much. All in balance as appropriate. And this whole centre, having been balanced, we come back to breathing into this ball of orange energy. And with the next breath out, drive up that ball of energy, draw it up to just above the navel. So a line of energy moves up in the centre of the body to an area just above the navel but below the rib cage, the solar plexus. And the solar plexus is the colour of the sun, bright, beautiful, bright, sunshine yellow. So at the top of this line of energy, we have a ball of sunshine yellow that grows brighter and stronger with every breath. Breathing into this sunshine yellow ball of energy, it grows brighter and stronger and moves around all this midriff area above the navel, glowing and growing. And as it glows and as it grows, it strengthens this midriff area, the solar plexus, so that all of this area brings balance to our confidence, to our self-esteem, to our sense of uniquely who we are. And we can shine out with that sense, just as the sun shines out into the cosmos. We can shine out with our inner confidence of who we are, with knowledge of our uniqueness, with acceptance of our unique self. We can shine out. We can feel our right to shine out as we are, as who we are. Can allow ourselves to be seen as appropriate by the world, by the cosmos, with this sunshine energy shining out from the solar plexus. We shine out with our self-esteem, with our self-confidence, not overconfident, not overstating our ego, but just acknowledging we have a right to be, we have a right to exist, we are unique, we are ourselves, we are a part of all that is. We have a contribution to make for all that is. So allowing us to shine out like this brings our self-confidence into balance, not over-demanding, not over-expressing ourselves, but knowing that we have gifts to give, gifts to share, as and when those gifts are appropriate. And when this energy center is fully in balance, we have the ability then for this line of energy to rise up to the heart. So with the next in and out breath, let that line of energy rise up to the center of the chest, the heart center, in the center of the body. And here that line of energy produces a ball of fresh green energy. Fresh spring green, light and bright spring green, the colour of leaves as they emerge from the trees in spring. Light, fresh spring green. The colour of growth, the colour of love, the colour of sharing, the colour of life, bursting into wonder. With our in-breath, we bring fresh energy with the oxygen of the air to grow this ball of energy to be more and more vibrant, more and more delicious, more and more lively. This heart energy then becomes our expression of our compassion first for ourselves, but that to be in balance with our compassion for all the needs of all that there is, the needs of others, the needs of the world, in service to spirit, but also compassion towards ourselves, that we may be gentle with ourselves, we may love ourselves, we may accept ourselves for who we are. And so we see with this compassion what is supporting us. The solar plexus energy, the energy of our sacral center guiding our physical body, the energy of our root chakra, the root energy center connecting us to the earth, and all that earth energy giving us our anchor. And all these lower centers supporting our heart energy to grow, to be freshened up with the energy of the breath as we breathe into our heart center, and our heart flourishes with love and compassion for our own unique selves, and that own unique self can then give love and compassion to all equally, as all may need. We're alive to the needs of others. We're alive to our empathy, we're alive to our compassion, we're alive to how our heart energy may best be shared and developed. Keep breathing for a few more breaths into the heart center, feeling this fresh green energy, this spring green, growing brighter and stronger. More lively, more effective, and always in balance. Then when we feel this energy is in balance in the next breath, allow the strength of this line of energy to come upwards towards the throat, just a few inches higher up towards the center of the throat. And here this line of energy, as we breathe into this line of energy at the throat, the color changes to a turquoise blue, a fresh, lovely, sky blue, turquoise blue sunshine, summer sky. Clear, bright, fresh turquoise blue, expansive, endless. And as we balance this energy by breathing into this throat center, we feel our ability to express our true selves is being developed. Our ability to express our essential truth, our unique truth, our appropriate truth, starts to be expanded, deepened. This expanse of sky blue, turquoise blue energy moving around the throat center, then expanding out into the world like the expansive sky. Our ability to express our unique truth, our special truth, both to ourselves and where appropriate to others. Coming into balance, so we don't always blurt out everything when it may cause difficulties for others, but we know how to express our truth in balance as and when appropriate. And as this center comes into balance, we feel the power to let this line of energy come through the center of our heads, rising up into the center of the brain. And here in the center of the brain, behind the eyes, we find this line of energy blossoms into a soft, dark ball of indigo energy, deep indigo, dark, mysterious, soft and gentle, very expansive, with hidden depths. So breathe into this energy center. Feel as we breathe into this energy center in the center of the brain, we develop the power of this ball of indigo, deep, rich and mysterious. As we develop the growth of this energy center, we come into awareness of how it always exists, and sometimes we're not fully in tune, but it always exists there, waiting, latent to blossom. As we breathe into it, let it blossom as best it will, as is appropriate at this time for each of us. And we feel, if it is right, the gentle expansion of this ball of rich, dark, mysterious indigo energy flowing outwards with gentle whispers of tentacles, connecting across the whole cosmos with a sense of the intuition that exists in all creation, in all that is, all that ever was, all that ever will be, connecting our intuition with knowledge from all time, all places, feeling our ability to know, even if we don't consciously know, letting this energy connect with deep intuition from all time, all places, beyond conscious knowledge. Whatever is appropriate right now, let this energy be whatever it may be. As we breathe into this energy center, we feel reassured, knowing that our intuition is guiding us as best it may, beyond our conscious knowledge. Somewhere deep within us, we know whatever we need to know, whenever we need to know it. Our intuition is guiding us, supporting us, informing us, helping us. each breath, bringing this center into balance, gently, comfortably, and surely. And when we feel this energy center is in balance, we can allow this line of energy then to rise up just a few inches more to the top of the skull, to an area just fractionally above the top of the skull. And here let this line of energy form a tight little bud of sparkling energy that turns to a violet colour, a little bud of violet colour. And as we breathe into this little bud of violet, just above the top of the scalp, we can feel this little bud of energy growing in power, growing in beauty, growing in vibrancy. And as it does so, the bud opens like a flower, like the 1,000-petaled lotus, as it grows in energy. And each petal is a slightly different colour of violet. Some violet is pinker, some violet is more blue, some violet is darker, some is lighter. And each petal is a slightly different variation from the petal next to it. The 1,000-petaled lotus opens up at the top of our scalp, at the crown of the head. We celebrate the beauty of our crown. Fabulous, wonderful beauty as we breathe into this area just above the top of our scalp. We feel the wonder, the sense of wonder, the sense of awe, the sense of timeless, endless being, beyond all knowledge, beyond all understanding. Opening up to the highest source of creation, the highest source of anything that ever is, the highest and best and truest. We call to that. We ask for a blessing from whatever is best, whatever is most true, whatever is most beautiful, whatever is most wonderful. We ask for a blessing from the highest source of all creation, of all that is. The highest source from even beyond creation, beyond time, beyond space. And that line of energy reaches up from this crown chakra, this crown center. This reaches up a little way and it feels the call answered from the highest source, reaching down to meet it. And here above our heads, there's a glow of ultraviolet, shining white and ultraviolet, beyond visible sight. And it comes down this line of energy, that our call is answered with a single dewdrop of clear crystal beauty coming down to the center of our crown, being absorbed into the little bud at the center of our flower. This pure, clear crystal bud, like a dewdrop, is a gift from the highest source, a gift beyond understanding, beyond knowledge, beyond our capacity even to know what it may be, what it may hold. But we receive it with grateful thanks, our gift from the highest source given to each one who calls and asks. As we receive this in the center of our flower, the petals of the flower close over this clear crystal drop. As the petals close over the bud draws back down deep into our center of intuition. The bud draws down, back, down this line of energy, through the center of our intuition, through the indigo center. This bud draws back down through the line of energy that goes down through the throat center. This bud draws back down through the line of energy that goes into our heart center. And here at our heart, we ask this line of energy from above and below to unite the energies from above and below, from the highest source and from the richness of the earth. We unite the energies at our heart. And these energies from the highest source and the depths of the earth combine with our own personal energy at our heart, our own unique compassion and love, combining with all these wonderful energies at our heart. And now we ask that these energies be used for healing. We ask that these energies be used as a gift for us to offer to ourselves and to all our fellow creatures, all our fellow humans. All our lives may be in service of healing. And to enable this, we ask this energy to grow at our heart. And as it grows at our heart, it starts to fountain upwards. And this energy will fountain upwards as it grows. It will fountain upwards towards our throat, towards the back of the skull. And then as the fountain falls back down again, it falls down through our shoulders, through the upper arm, down through the elbows, down through the lower arm, down into the wrists, down into the palms, down into the hands and fingers. And as this fountain of energy comes down our hands into our palms, just now turn the palms wherever your hands are. Turn them so that palm faces palm. To begin with, you can rest your palms on your thighs, but just turn your palms facing each other. And allow the energy that's fountaining up from the heart to fall down through the arms, through the elbows, through the wrists, into the hands and fingers, and to move from palm to palm. And as more and more energy comes into this area between the palms, let the palms rise up more and more. As you feel more and more energy coming into your palms, just let your hands rise up more and more. And that way the energy not only comes between your palms, but also between your lap and your chest, until there's a whole area, expansive area of healing energy between your palms, your lap and your chest. There's a whole pool of healing energy created as this energy fountains up from the heart and into the arms, into the palms, and into this pool of energy in front of each of our bodies. Now just dip your palms into this pool of energy, scoop up the healing energy from this pool of energy, raise up your palms, bring your hands to either side of your head, and then gently move your hands full of this healing energy, palms full of healing energy. Move your palms closer and closer to your ears. And feel as if your palms now are bringing the healing energy through your ears into the bones of the ears, through the bones of the ears into the bones of the skull, through the bones of the skull into the bones of the spinal column, through the bones of the spinal column into the rib cage, the bones of the ribs, through the spinal column into the bones of the pelvis, through the spinal column into the bones of the shoulders, arms, hands and fingers, through the spinal column, through the pelvis into the bones of the legs, down the knees, the shins, the feet, the heels and toes. So this healing energy is coming into all the bones of the body from top to toe, right from the top of the skull, right down to the bottom of the feet. All the bones of the body are receiving healing energy. And if you like to use colour, you can imagine a bond of gold, silver and green moving through the bones. Bringing strength, but also bringing balance and flexibility to all the bones of the body. And moving from the bones, the energy goes into all the tough tissues of the body, through the joints into the tendons, through the tendons and the sinews into anything that's tough, the ligaments, the structures of the body. Feel the whole structure of the body vibrating with healing energy, coming into strength, coming into balance, coming into flexibility, coming into a whole being, supporting the structure of the body with health and vitality, right deep into the bone marrow, through all the structures of the body. Vibrating with healing energy. Now we're going to move the hands from the ears to cover the eyes at the front of the body, and you can rest your hands on the face if you prefer, but having your palms not touching the eyes but over the eyes. Here let the hands, the palm energy, the energy from the fingers and thumbs come into your eyes, and through the eyes into the brain, and through the brain into all the nerves of the body. And if you want to use colour, you can feel a sense of African violet coming into the brain, into the nerves of the body, travelling through the nerves, the coverings of the nerves, down the brain, through the brain to the spinal column, through the spinal column into all the nerves of the body, the nerves of the head, the nerves of the neck, the nerves of the shoulders, arms, hands and fingers, the nerves of the chest, front and back and sides, the nerves in the centre of the body, in the interior of the body, round the chest and rib cage, round the stomach and midriff, round the lower abdomen, round the bottom, round the seat, pelvis, the thighs, all the nerves of the body receiving healing energy with this sense of an African violet colour vibrating through the nerves, round the surface of the nerves, deep in the nerves, bringing vitality of the nerves, bringing balance to the nerves. So the nerves are not hypersensitive, they're just right sensitivity, not too alert and not too dormant. All the nerves coming into balance, knowing how to be in your nervous energy. Having brought all the nerves into balance, we now move the hands over the nose and mouth at the front of the face. And you can, if you wish to, support your hands by the jaw, you can, or you can just hold your hands in front of your nose and mouth. And here let the healing energy come through the nose and the mouth. Breathe it in, a soft, rosy pink, gentle energy, flecked with gold and bronze. Soft, pink clouds of energy being breathed into the nose, the mouth, and from there into your bloodstream, and through your bloodstream into all the fluid systems of the body. Lymph, cerebrospinal fluid, intracellular fluid, the fluid inside the cells. Feel rosy pink energy, soft and gentle and delightfully flecked with flecks of gold and bronze, darting about, flitting about, moving gently through all the fluid systems of the body, enlivening all the soft tissues of the body, all the fluids and all the soft tissues of the body, all the soft, gentle areas of the body, and including the muscles, which are rich in blood, including the fatty areas of the body, including the gut and the lining of the gut, including all the organs of the body, the lungs, the heart, the liver, the spleen, the pancreas, the gallbladder, urinary bladder, the kidneys, all the difficult parts of the body that look after ourselves ceaselessly, day after day, second after second, all these soft tissues of the body being supported, being nurtured, being loved by rosy pink energy, being brought back into balance, being brought into vitality, into wonder, into freshness, into an ability to get rid of all that is stale, all that is used up, all that is unnecessary. This fresh rosy pink energy through all the fluid systems enables us to bring freshness, brightness, rosy pinkness into every part of our being. Now, gently moving from this, move your hands down to rest your hands at your heart. So with our hands on our hearts, we're going to move down the body, down the front of the body, with the hands flat on the body, moving the hands. One hand goes to the front of the body at the genitalia, and the other hand goes to the back of the body. And here we connect again with the base of the spine. But with the hands physically now at the base of the spine, we breathe into this area at the base of the spine. As we breathe into this area, we ask all our energies to be balanced. We ask for a blessing on our link to the energy of the earth. We ask for this energy to be used to guide us, so that the wisdom of the earth helps us to walk in the ways of the earth, that each step that we take on the earth is guided and supported by the natural flow of the earth. Each step that we take on the earth helps us not to harm the earth, but to work in sympathy with the earth and to walk in sympathy with the earth. Each step that we take guides us on a path of compassion towards a goal that serves the benefit of all. Each step that we take on the earth enables us to walk in peace, in balance, in love, and in service to the best that there is. And we feel ourselves settling all our energies to be one, to be whole, to be integrated. Uniquely ourselves, uniquely present on the earth, and uniquely able to be what we are for the best. And as we balance all these energies together, let us commit to a journey, however we continue to be a journey of love, of peace, of dedication to the best of all that may be. And to aid that dedication, we bring our hands back to our hearts. As we bring our hands back to our hearts, we feel our unique compassion once more. And we ask for guidance and support to continue in the best way possible for each of us, whatever that may be. We ask that we may know love, may receive love in the best of our capacity, and may use whatever love and strength we receive to be for the highest and best purposes. So with this prayer of love and balance and rootedness in everyday being, in everyday service to everyday life, we ask now for a final blessing of calmness. And to do that, we now just first put our hands on the top of our head and just first stroke down from the top of the head, gently but firmly, over the ears, over the jawline, over the sides of the neck, over the tops of the shoulders, and then down over the sides of the torso as best we can, over the sides of the pelvis, stroking gently and firmly along the sides of the thighs, the sides of the knees, the sides of the calves, down towards the ankles if we can reach them. And then returning the hands to the tops of the head, we now stroke down from the back of the head, the back of the neck, and then as much as we can of the backs of the shoulders, backs of the rib cage, backs of the small of the back, underneath the buttocks, underneath the backs of the thighs, backs of the knees, backs of the calves, and into the heels if we can. And then finally, again, top of the head, down from the top of the head over the forehead. We can hold our hands over our faces for a while, just feeling a sense of returning to everyday being, everyday reality, and we can give our faces a gentle massage round the jawline, round the eyes, underneath the jaw into the throat, round underneath the ears, over the ears, and finally just bringing our hands down from the throat back down to the heart, and down from the heart, down the front of the body, down the front of the thighs, tops of the thighs, tops of the knees, tops of the shins, front of the shins, and if we wish, into the tops of our feet. And when you've done that, just move a little bit so that you feel the strength of your body. You can open your eyes when you feel ready to open your eyes. And when you do open your eyes, it's best to first look down to the floor. And then feel yourself back in your everyday space. Be aware of where you are, the room that you're in, or the space that you're in if you're outdoors. Look around you, feel a sense of the place that you're in, the physicality of whatever living beings are around you, and indeed the physicality of all non-living things around too. So the minerals, the rocks, the walls, and then the living living creatures, the animals, the plants. And then feel also a sense of the spirit of the earth all around us, living, being, loving, supporting us, being in harmony with us as we are in harmony with them, with all creatures who wish all creatures well. And give a sense of gratitude to the support that we give and the support that we get.